This is my crashed Mazda Miata that we bought from Facebook Marketplace. When we got it, we had a bunch of parts, blown airbags, a completely stripped interior, and snapped engine mounts. But we managed to fix it and drive the car 1,700 kilometers across the country to bring it home. We passed the written off vehicle inspection, but there's no bonnet and there's no bumper. And that's because they've gone off for paint. With the written off vehicle inspection passed and the paint done, there's going to be nothing stopping us from selling this car. All in an attempt to rebuild cars until we get a supercar. So all this work, everything has led up to this moment. Are we going to be able to make any money selling this car? With all of the projects we own and having to pay for all the parts, we have drained the supercar fund to only $137. And because I've gone 50-50 on this car, is the investor going to be happy? The bonnet and bumper are getting delivered as we speak. Let's see if the paint matches the fenders. This could be a really tough one. We'll find out. I dropped this off at a place around the corner from me with the help of one of our followers from TikTok. This is the first time I've seen it and already I'm excited. So here it is, and the color match, even though it's really going to be hard to pick up on camera, it is very, very good. I think on the camera it looks like this is lighter than this, but genuinely it looks spot on in real life. I'm actually really, really impressed. The one thing that we have to do now is build this bumper back up. So when I dropped the bumper and the bonnet off to get painted, I took all of this stuff off to make it easier. The grille just pushes in and then there's some screws holding it in. Then that top bit, I actually need to put rivets back in it. We'll put back the inside lining of the bonnet. Then the fog lights can go in, the crash sensors, and tighten up all the bolts. But the question is, will the repair work on the bumper near the fender be adequate? So let's put the bumper on and try and slot the bumper into the fender and see if the body panels line up well or not. So we're going to see if it slots in and holds. There's a bit of a gap. It's like I can't push it in all the way. Let's get it out in the light and have a better look at it. And this is the first time the car's been one color. It's time to see it in the light. This part here is still sticking out quite badly. We do have the bumper tabs that we can try and put on and see if that's going to help. But all in all, I'm actually pretty happy with this. The color match looks pretty damn good. The car looks like a freaking car. It's time to take the sale photos. But first, we're going to take the seats out and give this thing a good clean. And take this $2,500 AVO exhaust off and put it on my partner's car, because that's a free part. And then it was time for the photos. I'm not an expert at this, but I parked the car up and tried to take the coolest looking photos that I could with the top up and then again with the top down. But we got it all done and the photos ended up looking like this. Now, even though the photos look good, there are still a couple of things that need to be fixed. One of which is that damaged side of the bumper to try and get the panel lining up better. And the other thing is the infotainment system. The actual touchscreen of it is cracked, but for $10 off AliExpress, we can rip the whole thing apart and very carefully fix it. This bumper has been damaged and it's actually not clipping in to the fender properly. So we have these JT spec bumper things. I've just seen ads for them and thought, hey, that might actually work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to sand the underside of this clip, and you can see it is still a bit broken. We're going to sand the top of this, put JB Weld on it, we're going to line it up and clamp it onto there, and then it should clip into here and hold like it should. So we got the sandpaper out and roughed up the top of the bumper tab and the bottom side of the tab that's on the actual bumper. Then we can mix up some JB Weld, layer it on, and this is what we come out with. Now, it's not quite set yet, so we're going to have to leave it for a few hours, but while we do that, let's move on to the infotainment. Next thing, I've started taking it apart, the interior, to get this out, because we have a replacement screen for this cracked piece. So let's get it out. The annoying thing is just you have to take pretty much everything out to get to it. So while I'm taking out all these screws, now's a great time to just double check that you're subscribed. If you've seen my videos a couple of times now and you like the way they're edited, it really does go a long way. And I'm actually going to show you how it affects me at the end of this video, because just having you watch these videos does make a real world impact on our ability to get to a supercar at the end of all this. Now this part is quite messy. The chrome part we need to keep, and we need to keep it in good nick. But the screen itself is actually glued down to the silver part, so we've got to be really careful and slide the screen off. Then once we've got it off, we can use a razor and clean off all the excess glue and glass. Put the hard part over, we just have to stick the new screen on, and then it can go straight back in the car. Alright, we're going to turn it on now. Alright, it's registering touch and it looks way better. So, now it's time to list the car and see how many responses we get. I was about to film like a little update about Facebook Marketplace, but someone's just messaged me and I've rolled the car into the backyard because they're going to come take a look at it. For the record, this car's been up for a week and I haven't had anyone come look at it. This is the first person that's going to come look at this car. So yeah, here it is. When I turned it on just before, the battery was a little bit low just because it's sat in there for ages, but have a look.
So this was yours, was it? It was a driver.
So after explaining that I bought the car as a write-off and fixed it myself, the buyer had a good look around the car and asked a bunch of questions.
We're looking actually.
Yeah, sure. After going back and forth about a few things, he wanted to drive it.
Okay. No, I'm seriously interested. It'd be nice if you could drive me around in it.
The only problem with that was I couldn't move the car out because my girlfriend's car was in front of the garage. She was out and she had her keys with her. But then he said this.
How much were you asking for it again?
I just dropped it from 25 to 24. What, realistically, what are you sort of thinking?
Not to lowball you, but I'm closer to 22.
I sort of priced it around here just because it seems like non-wovy ones are going for like 30 to 35.
I could do 23. I don't think I could.
I think that's reasonable. I think it's just smack in the middle.
Yeah.
I would do 23.
Yeah. Depending how the drive goes.
Yeah. So let's get him the test drive. Because this car is parked in the way of the garage, I can't get the MX5 out to take this car for a test drive. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive 40 minutes to pick up the keys for that car, 40 minutes back, and the only real sort of downside to all this is that it gives the buyer a chance to go, oh, you know what, maybe I don't want that, to look around. And it just means that because we didn't seal the deal with the deposit just then, it does actually put the sale in jeopardy. So fingers crossed I'll be here in like 2 hours. He's taken it for a drive and he's left us with a deposit. Now, it is important to note that just because you have a deposit doesn't mean the sale is going to go through, but so he's left us a 10% deposit and we've sold this car for $23,000. These cars with these Ks are going for $30,000 to $35,000. So $23,000, the buyer is getting the car for a great price. A couple of days passed, he paid in full, registered the car and took it home. Check it out, we finally have a car spot free. Now, we still have the Gixxer 750 to sell, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I've got someone coming to look at that tonight. So keep an eye out for that. And for the question you've all been asking, what are the numbers? Did we make money? Did we lose money? What's the deal? All right, it's time to jump on a call with Julian, the investor, and go through the numbers. All right, so I've sold the car. It's officially off the premises.
All right, so this is good to hear. What's the breakdown on all of our costing?
You and I originally bought the car and a lot of the parts with the car for a total of $8,250. So we were in at about $4,000 each at that point. Then we spent a bunch of money on parts and registration stuff. We spent $5,103. We are in this for $13,353 in total. This car has sold $23,000.
Bless up. I don't. Very, very good. I was feeling a bit dicey about it at times. It was clear this was a good investment of my money. I am happy to work together again sometime. Thank you for coming to Shark Tank.
Here we go. $11,500. Send money.
I've been paid.
Damn. Woohoo! So we managed to sell the MX5 for a massive profit, and I'm over the moon. Now, when it comes to how much of this actually gets added to the supercar total, usually we would only add the profit. However, with this car, I actually bought this before I started the rebuilding cars until I get a supercar goal. So the initial price of just the car is going to be added to the total. So if we take our half minus the parts cost, because I did use the supercar fund for the parts, then we're going to get the total that we're going to add to the supercar fund, which is about $9,000, bringing it just over the $30,000 mark. And in the video, I did say that I would tell you how you guys watching this can directly impact us getting the supercar. And just recently, I've had a $122 YouTube AdSense payment. And even though we're putting it up against thousands of dollars, the fact that $120 is generated just from you guys watching the content that I've been making anyway, just makes me super happy. If you like the video, thank you very much. If you want to see more of Julian, let me know. He could come back, and I will see you in the next one.